You've moved on with your life, making progress and achieving amazing things. You're stepping into a new chapter, accomplishing more than ever before. But now, some people are upset because you've chosen to distance yourself from them. They tried to twist the story, making it seem like you were the problem all along. They painted you as the bad person, the one without common sense, the one responsible for all the issues. However, once you cut ties with them, the truth began to shine through. Now, it's becoming clear who the real problem was. These people are angry because you've blocked them out of your life. You made this decision because you knew they weren't good for you. They pretended to be decent, good people and convinced others that you were at fault. In reality, they were the ones filled with negativity and chaos. Over time, you saw through their facade. You gave them many chances, hoping they would change, but all they brought was drama and stress. You understood that they weren't worth the headaches, sleepless nights, or emotional toll they caused. Their energy was toxic, and you knew it was time to let go. You decided to cut them out and move forward without them. This decision made them upset, but you stood your ground. You were working hard to become a better person, striving to live a more positive and meaningful life. You felt a new sense of purpose growing inside you, and maybe even some spiritual growth. You realized that they didn't share the same energy you were seeking. Their behavior made it clear that they were stuck in negativity while you were trying to rise above it all. You recognized that they didn't have the spirit of peace and goodness that you wanted in your life. That realization helped you understand it was time to move on. You could see the light of a brighter future ahead of you, one filled with hope and joy. With each step forward, you felt lighter and more at ease, leaving behind the shadows of those who brought you down. You made a powerful choice to focus on yourself. You are worthy of love and positivity, and you chose to surround yourself with people who lift you up. Those negative influences only held you back, but now, you can shine brightly without their chaos weighing you down. You're ready to embrace the new opportunities that await you. You are stronger than you think, and you have the power to create a joyful and fulfilling life. Some people carry serious issues, but instead of facing them, they try to make you the problem. This is why it's so important to be careful around those who are full of drama and chaos. They can easily project their own problems onto you, making it seem like you're the one at fault. Sometimes, they even gather others to turn against you, acting like you're the source of all the trouble. But the truth is, it's often their own mental struggles and inner battles that cause them to lash out at others. When you decide to step away from these people, it forces others to take a closer look. They start to realize that maybe you weren't the problem after all. It becomes clear that these individuals were always the ones causing issues, and you just got tired of dealing with it. You eventually reached a point where you understood that life is too short to waste time on people who bring nothing but negativity. You recognized that your time is precious and your energy is valuable. You saw how they dragged you into unnecessary drama, trying to ruin your reputation, create fights, and keep you stuck in the toxic patterns they lived in. But when you finally recognized it for what it was, you made a strong decision: I'm done. You understood these people were not worth your time or energy. You had more important things to focus on. So, you removed them from your life, allowing yourself to grow and thrive as you were meant to. You embraced a positive and purposeful path, knowing you were moving towards something greater. Now they're upset because you won't engage in their nonsense anymore. But you don't have time for people who constantly try to make you look like the problem while they try to lift themselves up. You refuse to let people put you down just to feel better about themselves. You are focused on your own growth and will not allow their negativity to hold you back any longer. These people never expected you to stand up for yourself. They thought they could always paint you as the bad person to everyone around you. But once you cut them out of your life, things started to shift. Now, people are beginning to see the truth and reconsider who was really at fault. Don't think they aren't wondering about you now. They're curious, questioning everything they once believed. They thought they had you all figured out based on what others said, but now they're starting to see that you haven't come back around. You blocked them on social media and decided they weren't worth your time. You refused to get dragged into the petty games they tried to play. You tossed them aside because they revealed their true colors, showing you that they were nothing but negativity in your life. Now, they're facing a rude awakening. They're starting to wonder if maybe they were the ones causing the problems all along while you stood above it all, looking down on the chaos. These thoughts weigh on them as they think about you daily. They ask themselves why you haven't returned. Why have you stayed away from the drama they wanted to pull you into? Are you doing better? Are you happy? Little do they know, you're doing much better than they could ever imagine. They're shocked and confused because you haven't rejoined their circle of negativity. You know your worth, and now they're beginning to realize your value too. All along, you understood that you weren't going to waste your time on these toxic people forever. You knew you had more important things to focus on, so you moved forward with your life. You always knew you were a good person with goals and a purpose. You had no intention of sticking around for the nonsense they tried to drag you into. You chose progress, growth, and better things, leaving behind the drama that wasn't worth your time. Now, they're not just mad, they miss you too. It's like a double hit. They're angry, but they also realize how much they miss having you around. They miss being able to use you as their scapegoat, the one they could blame for their own problems. They miss having you as their emotional punching bag, always taking on the weight of their issues. But you're no longer there to shoulder their burdens. You've moved on to brighter days, filled with positivity and self-discovery. As you embrace your new life, you find joy in pursuing your goals and surrounding yourself with uplifting people. You're focused on your happiness, and the weight of their negativity no longer drags you down. Now, as they reflect on the past, they can't help but feel a pang of regret. They realize they lost someone who was not only a good friend but also a source of light and strength in their life. But more than that, they're finally seeing what they lost. They now realize you were a kind and beautiful soul, someone they should never have taken for granted. They thought they could do whatever they wanted because you were such a good person, but you surprised them when you walked away and refused to deal with their nonsense anymore. Now they're facing the harsh reality that you're not someone to be played with. They're beginning to understand that you're stronger and more valuable than they ever gave you credit for. You carry yourself with dignity, and they see that you really are a good, kind-hearted person, even though they tried to make you seem otherwise. You weren't bothering them, you were simply being yourself, showing up with joy and peace. But they had their own internal struggles, and instead of dealing with their issues, they tried to make you the problem. But you weren't the problem, you were the light in their darkness. Now they're upset because your light no longer shines in their direction. You don't want to be surrounded by their negativity and chaos anymore. Light and darkness can't coexist for long, and your light revealed the darkness within them. That's why they couldn't stand to be around you, even though it wasn't your fault. But that's not your burden anymore. You're in a better place, free from their toxic energy. Now you can shine even brighter without the distractions of people who only brought you down.